their history
That
and
boy did them
relationship.
braids, didn't he?
I heard about Irv having strokes. I thought about the situation with
Yeah,
Lil
the
Wayne.
fresh.
I thought about the situation
This
with
is a funny looking nigga.
with Ross. A lot of
Stop,
I
man.
think about Mac Miller. I think about all these guys, and it's all leads to the same type of place.
All right, Benzino back.
What happened? What happened?
Title of this video has been Benzino details Irv Gotti's too much partying. We all did it.
He got fresh braids. Who
Their
did
history.
that?
I heard about Irv having strokes. I thought about the situation with
Yeah,
Lil
the
Wayne.
fresh.
I thought about the situation
This
with
is a funny looking nigga.
with Ross. A lot of
Stop,
I
man.
think about Mac Miller. I think about all these guys, and it's all leads to the same type of place.
Shout out Real Life Street Stars.
Shout out to Real Life.
50 years now, 50 years old back in the day.
This is
So it's just a tragic loss, man. Irv was definitely, as far as producers go, one of the pioneers. Time. I mean, I think he introduced. When I look at amazing producers, I always look at how they introduced a whole genre of music, a whole type of music, a lane, and he did that with Jah Shanti with Murder Inc. We hadn't heard no music like that in hip hop before. He made pop rap dope. He made pop rap kind of dope. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't agree? For a
Let
couple
me
years
ask
he
you,
did.
when people look at
I'm trying to think. No, he
You
did.
don't think for a couple years he made?
Yeah, no, for a couple of years, you're right. Murder Inc. was on fire with John. We'll do it, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
All that. I got you. But I'm going back to the golden era, the golden years, because I'm from there, man. LL Cool J was the first one to really, but I Need Love and all that.
Right.
That's LL set the tone for that.
We talking about almost a decade later that they came.
No, more than it. We maybe 2 decades later, man.
No, yeah, because I was like,
Yeah. What? LL Cool J?
No, Gotti and them.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you're right. But what happened was Irv and Ja Rule and all it got saturated. They just you start getting tired of it. Like,
right.
Yo, come on, man. God damn. Right. Then 50 came along and shut the right.
And essentially did the same thing.
Right. Did the same thing.
Did it with this whole thing.
Right.
What's a little gangster to it?
executive produce, like what Puffy does, what Irv does, when they're not actually making the beat? What does that mean when they're producing an album?
That's a great question. Like what Irv will do, and what all producers, and I even do it. You call in session players. You have a guy on the drum machine. He's he programs the beats, and sometimes he's the guy that plays the keys too. Sometimes, but you call in different session players and different musicians, and you're actually humming to them what you want. You're picking the sample. Irv, and I've got a chance to be in the studio and watch him work. He's relentless when it comes to that. Like, he knows exactly what he wants, and he's able to dictate. He might not be a player or a programmer, but he's able to dictate exactly what he wants to the musicians and to the producers. It's not necessarily what they want. They can throw in, well, how about if I do it this way? But it has to be cleared by him. And to me, that's just as much of a producer. That's a composer,
There you go. And for our fans' sake, can you, before we get deep into it, let us know as far as what was your relationship with Irv throughout the years, whether in person or far away?
Well, it first started with the 50 Cent. I mean, our first encounter, which we didn't encounter, but it all started with the 50 Cent situation that happened at the Hit Factory. And when 50 ran down to my station, to my studio, Sony, I was with the Made Men. I ended up sending them off. I didn't know Murder Inc. and them personally then. I had never met them. But it was kind of a connection that we had that night. As weeks was going on, Ja was beefing with 50. They had beef from Queens. I didn't know Ja, I didn't know 50, but they had beef from Queens, their own block beef that had to do, with the Supreme Team and 50 and Ja.
Right.
That was their thing. That was a Queens thing. That wasn't my thing. I mind my business when it comes to stuff like that. I'm a Boston nigga. So if it's a Boston situation, then yeah. But when it comes to that, I didn't have any, It was a coincidence that me and Eminem started beefing at the same time. We started our rap beef around the same time. And it also was a coincidence that Eminem had just signed 50 around the same time. What's even more of a coincidence that I had just moved to Saddle River, New Jersey. And that's, basically that's where Coy grew up. I mean, I moved right next to Ja. And Coy went to school with his kids, and they all grew up together. And we got, when I was with Coy's mother at the time, she got close with Ja's wife, and we all got kind of close just because I kind of moved damn near next door to him, a couple of blocks.
It's not next door.
A couple of streets, and
same neighborhood.
We just had a relationship. Then I went on tour with those guys, and I had Rock the Party at the time. It was my biggest song. He was doing a world tour. And Rock the Party was known all over the world. It just, there was too many coincidences that kind of put us together. Now, Murder Inc. is a big crew, all right? You got your artists, there's Ja, and Ja got his kind of guys that he's with, and then Irv got his guys that he's with. The thing with Irv is he gave everybody jobs. Irv put everybody on. All his guys, they all had jobs. It was a pretty organized shit. My relationship was heavy with Ja, but every time I would see Irv, it would always be cordial. What's up, Zeno? They would call me.
He got baby hair spinners on. He got the baby hair spinners.
All this shit like baby hair.
I'm just saying.
This is strange.
It's hard to. Yeah, he's and on top of he like 5 foot what?
One.
Man,
His gills went down.
They didn't. It's just the
They was more flared
angle.
They was more flared out.
He might have got something surgery.
Grigio. Irv called me Grigio.
No,
Gotti, Chris, Ja, everybody, all of them. So, I got close with all of them, including all the guys who wasn't the artists. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was happy he got the cover. Irv liked to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? When I was around, always partying. I mean, him and Rue were like they party animals. You know what I'm saying?
Party animal.
Of course, when they party and everybody, drinking, the little dibber dads. The first time I really, see, like, I had, of course, I knew about Molly, but you know what I'm saying? Molly, where everybody was doing Molly and everybody was drinking and shit, man. And, a lot of girls, man. When I look at
a lot of dudes,
how I was back then, I was a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, being on tour, drugs, girls, that's part of the life. And I think, the guys at Murder Inc., like, they lived it to the fullest. I know Irv did. You know what I'm saying? He loved beautiful women. And I'm not saying this is disrespect.
He did now.
Yeah, I mean, but goddamn, man, you throw the man under the bus.
Just my memories, love beautiful women, love having a good time.
He just thinking, look, I did all the same stuff Irv did.
Yeah, but Irv,
I need to check my stroke levels. That's what he's talking about.
It was all, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, at 54 years old, and when I started hearing about his health deteriorating, with me, I'll be 60 years old in July. And, when it comes to drugs, shit, I've done a lot of drugs. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, that's when the drugs first came on the block. And, you kind of did them just to experiment. Back then, we experimented. Thank God, this generation experiments too. But yeah, we experimented. And, it's like, the thing with me is I always, before I start going off the deep end, I would just stop anything, get a hold of myself.
Life is funny like that, man.
What you mean?
I mean, so God took Irv Gotti and left us with Benzino. I'm just saying. I mean,
say something deep,
I'm just saying, man. God damn.
Hey, we still got Benzino. So get all the knowledge from the gills.
Because it's easy to get hooked on heroin, on cocaine, on pills, on Percocets, on Molly's, ecstasy. Everybody has their drug of their choice, lean. When I heard about Irv having strokes, I thought about the situation with Lil Wayne. I thought about the situation with
Rose,
with Ross. A lot of I think about Mac Miller. I think about all these guys, and it all leads to the same type of place. Now I know Irv had with complications with diabetes, but one thing I want everybody to understand, and especially Black men and all men for that matter, we got to take care of our bodies. especially as you get older. Once you start
That's
passing that
facts.
40, getting to them 40s, the things that we do and with the things that we put in our bodies, not just food, but the drugs, but the food too.
That's what kill you.
It's poison, and it rears its ugly head later on in life. If you're not in the gym, if you're not moving around, if you're not getting that blood flowing, that heart takes punishment. And when it comes to drugs, it's either you're doing something to speed it up, or you're doing something to slow it down. And when the heart gets sped up and slowed down so much, here comes the strokes, here comes the blood clots. And I don't know exactly what happened to Irv. I just know that all of us, when we're doing these type things, man, and you're having fun and you're using different drugs and everything, you got to make sure that you're balancing out with eating good, and you got to work out. It just can't be all about doing, having a good time doing drugs and fucking, women, and that, that it's fun, but it takes a toll on you. And eventually, when you see guys dying in their 50s of natural causes, it's really not natural. It's just all the years of punishing your body with, different substances.
Of all the things Benzino has said over the years,
I'm doing the same shit for the first time.
for the first time, this is
Shout out
some of the
Benzino, man.
this is some of the realest shit. Pardon me. This is some of the realest things that Benzino has said in a long time, and this come from OGs, because we are OGs. We fall under that status. I can truly concur with what he's saying, especially as black men in the black community. I can't speak for anybody else, but as men, we need to take care of ourselves and watch what we do with our bodies, let alone our bodies, mentally, physically, emotionally. You can be tampered with.
Right. You can't do what you used to do.
Nah, I mean, he was a kid. You can't, man. Yeah, you can't, man.
Wake up, I don't know what. You ever died in your sleep?
Son, stop. There's a lot of people who passed away in their sleep, man.
No,
But I guess if it's a way to go,
I'm talking about when you throw up in your mouth and your nose and it come out a little bit like.
you don't die in sleep like that, man. It's just it's called acid reflux.
Yeah,
And sometimes
man. I had to lose
you burning and all that.
Oh my god.
Yes,
man.
yes,
I had
yes.
that to me in so long. I've definitely made some shit.
Yeah,
We both
awesome.
had made
That
some
is true.
changes.
Yes, sir.
And lifestyle, and as you get older, it becomes more and more important.
Yes, sir.
I'm making jokes and stuff, but it's
Yeah, it's real.
when you see stuff like Irv dead at 54, you realize your mortality. And then the crazy thing is, look at the flip coin. The flip of the coin. You got
What's the
Donald
flip?
Trump this month.
Right.
Talk about how old Biden was.
Right.
You only like
He
a
just
year or
old.
two younger than him.
Yeah, but I think Trump wearing a diaper though. They say he wear a diaper.
He might wear a diaper, but he got his mind about him.
He
You
got
know
it.
what though? They say Trump don't drink or smoke or do nothing.
A word?
They don't do nothing.
Can you say that?
Worst he do is eat bad. Can I say that? I eat good now. I eat real good.
He's
And I don't drink. What's left, nigga? Yeah, black men, take care of yourself.
No doubt.
Yeah, let
no
me know
doubt.
if you think. Are you dealing with anything? Was it a surprise to you with somebody like Irv passing? 54 for a human being is
54,
not that
yeah,
old.
yeah, sure, man.
Yeah, not for a human.
Yeah,
It's old to be.
R.I.P. Irv
pissed off to
Gotti,
eat.
man. No doubt.
Man, R.I.P. Irv Gotti. All right, what else we got?
We got a couple